Are you sitting with thousands of hours of B roll content and telling yourself, I'll start posting tomorrow? Are you in your head worried about your friends and family, thinking you're cringe for choosing to be visible? Are you chasing trends instead of building influence? Welcome to the Visibility Standard, where the visionaries of today are changing the rules of their industries and letting their voice be heard. I'm your host, Jasmine, and we are setting the standard. She is owner founder of an app dedicated to wellness and providing folks with, just the best quality of options when it comes to meditation, therapy, coaching, support. So excited to have you here today, Kim. Thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, thank you. And yeah, good morning to you. And like I said, I feel very flattered to be here. So thank you.
What is the inspiration behind the Clementine app?
That's a very good question. And it's interesting that you use the word inspiration because it came from quite a dark place, actually. In fact, it was over 10 years ago now. I experienced quite debilitating mental health breakdown, basically. I was pregnant with my first son. I was working in a really stressful job, and rather than slowing down, I did this really stupid thing. I actually consciously, this was very conscious, sped up because I was trying to get a promotion before I went on maternity leave, which was a really
Mm,
dumb thing to do. I can say that with the benefit of hindsight. But it wasn't just that. What happened was I had a panic attack, my
okay.
very first panic attack at work in a space where I was trying to be somebody. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
With all the bravado and all the
Mm-hmm.
confidence, but always felt like I had so much anxiety in me. I never really was that person that I was trying to be. And so I had my first panic attack, and that's where it was like the beginning of the unraveling. And it happened very quickly, where because I swept it under the carpet, I didn't really know it was a panic attack. I knew that I just felt so horrible. I was in a meeting and I couldn't stop talking, and then couldn't breathe, and
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't really talk about it. It was just swept it under the carpet, and then started to lose my confidence because I was worried that I was going to have another one of those things. So I
Mm-hmm.
pulled back in little ways, very subtly, but actually they were having quite a big impact because I was retrenching. Do you know what I mean? I was
Mm-hmm.
going inwards. And then I thought it was going to be okay because I was going to go on maternity and have a baby. And I
Mm-hmm.
just thought, oh, that would be amazing. I get to have a break from work. It's not really a break. And I'll be able to feel better. But actually,
Mm-hmm.
that didn't happen. I just ended up feeling worse and becoming a new mother and all that
Mm-hmm.
stuff. It was like I was in a dark cave and I started having panic attacks daily then. That's how it was. But I was hiding them. I became like the expert at
Mm-hmm.
hiding it. So it all came to a head when I was on maternity leave, got made redundant and had to go and find a new job. And anybody who's ever gone, for job interviews knows that the currency is confidence, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could have all the technical skills in the world, but if you don't show up in a way that puts yourself in your best possible way, you're not going to be
Yeah.
successful. And that's when it all hit the rails. And I was like, oh my God, I'm having these panic attacks at these job interviews. Had to fess it all up. I'll fast forward a bit now. It was dark, and I tried to get help through traditional therapy, like coaching and
Mm-hmm.
CBT face to face, and it just didn't work. And I stumbled almost
Mm-hmm.
across hypnotherapy. I'd heard of hypnotherapy, but in a way that it was used to fix fears of
Mm-hmm.
flying, or maybe if you wanted to lose weight. Like I thought that it was all very specific.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, I got introduced to it by a friend, and genuinely, I remember having my first session, and it was like this poison was coming out of my body.
Mm-hmm.
And I could feel the unlearning and the unpicking starting to happen. So obviously at that time I wasn't thinking about starting a business. I was not. I was like, okay, I just need to feel better about
Mm-hmm.
life, stop having these panic attacks. That was the aim. But if I fast forward a couple of years, I was working in advertising, had a really stressful job as well. and realized that I, at that time, again, no one was talking about this stuff. No one talked about mental health. No one talked about anxiety. These were not part of our vocabulary. But to make being at work safe for me, I had to really go there and tell
Mm-hmm.
everyone at work that I wasn't feeling okay and that I did suffer from panic attacks and
Mm-hmm.
that I was anxious and that I wasn't always confident. And it was so interesting. All these women basically started telling me that they feel the same. And I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. There's like this
Mm-hmm.
silent epidemic going on here. And I started to have these little thoughts in my head. That's
Mm-hmm.
when it started my journey with Clementine. I was like, hmm, maybe I could do something. And then I found hypnotherapy, which was helping me, and I was doing that. I saw her on and off for a year. So it wasn't like a
Mm-hmm.
silver bullet because there is no silver bullet to this stuff. But I started thinking maybe there's, why are people not using this? And I did loads of desktop research. And I just kept coming back to this thing, which is these women need help in their everyday lives just to cope with stress
Mm-hmm.
and the grind basically of
Yeah.
everyday life, not anything else, just like
Mm-hmm.
getting through days without feeling like crap. And it was there where I was working at Wunderman Thompson that I came up with the idea and developed it whilst I was working there.
Mm-hmm.
And it became a source of good, really, for me. Even just working on it was like therapy, if you know what I mean. So I
Mm-hmm.
guess that's a very long way of saying that my own journey and my own experience with hypnotherapy and it being so transformative for me, I at one point thought I'd never work again, to being able to work again, to then being able to actually build something.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that helped me do, was the inspiration for
Mm-hmm.
starting Clementine.
It sounds like not only did you stumble into the founder life, but it also sounds like the founder life gave you a newfound sense of autonomy.
Oh my God, yes. And what I realized is that I had been in the wrong job or the wrong career and or work. I'd found the wrong kind of work that didn't really suit me.
Hmm.
It was bringing out the worst in me and not the best in me. And so, yeah, that building of something new that felt very purposeful, that I was so aligned to
Hmm.
and felt really creative, and like you said, autonomy was mine, gave me so much
Hmm.
beyond just the starting the business.
Yeah, thinking about what you said about going into job interviews with that confidence, being an entrepreneur, like being someone that builds something, that offers such a different level of confidence for you. It's a different level of self-discovery that will challenge you, it will stretch you, but when you see the vision really start to expand, you're like, yes, I see it. I see the direction it's going, and it really gives you that momentum to keep going.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and it's almost like crossing a bridge. So for a long time, I kind of had it in the back of my head from being a young girl. I was born in New Zealand, and I guess we come from you just sort it out kind of, you just kind of get things done
Hmm.
kind of mentality. And I thought I would start a business, but I had such a major block in my mind for my whole entire life to that moment,
Hmm.
which was you are not creative enough to come up with an idea that could be successful. That it was like a bridge and there was no bridge there. I could see the other side, but it's like it. And as soon as I had this experience and then started to go there and get into it was so I can't really describe it. It's like the wall came down and
Hmm.
I was like, oh my God, because I'm not thinking about starting a business. I'm actually thinking about solving a problem
Hmm.
that I care about.
Hmm.
And it almost took all that negative thoughts I had about not being able to do it to I can
Yeah.
do anything.
Yeah, that it's amazing when we're in jobs, when we're in spaces that really force us to put those blocks up and those limiting beliefs up. I'm not creative enough. I don't think I'm capable. I'm not ready to start something new. And then when we find either our own problem or a problem that we are really passionate about solving, all those barriers start to crumble down. And it's like, actually, I am creative enough to figure this out. And
Yeah.
maybe I don't know what the end goal will look like, but I do know how to get started. And that is, I mean, that's truly all it takes.
Yes, exactly. That's the point, is the getting started and not worrying about it. Yeah.
Talk us through what it's like to build an app.
Do you know what? I had so much fun building the app, and we've just built another app actually. And I've realized that that is the place where I'm most happy. I guess it depends on what type of person you are, because like my background is not in technology. So I'm not a software developer. I've got no idea. I'd worked in an agency where I was advising, not doing, two very different things. But I loved it because my brain loves a blank sheet of paper. And for me, that felt really expansive and exciting to go, okay, I know what the vision is here, but I've got no idea how to build it.
Hmm.
But I reckon there must be people out there who, I can pull in this person, sell them the vision, maybe they'll be able to do it a bit cheaper for me. And genuinely, I think because I had a very strong vision, because it was so purposeful, people just wanted to help me.
Hmm.
And I didn't find any trouble finding a developer that could do it at a price that I could afford. Like I didn't have loads of money. I'm not
Hmm.
like loaded. I'd spend all the money that I got from our redundancy when I got made redundant on this. But because I had that kind of vision for what the house was going to look like, to assemble the right people was
Hmm.
easy. And I just enjoyed every part of the process, like, building the email campaigns, building the website, building the content.
Hmm.
And even like when we had our first beta version of the app, I was like, yeah, but how am I going to find women to actually use it? That was quite easy too, because I was like, right, well, I know someone who's got a community. I'll ask her. She can just put a call out. And I just had hundreds of women saying, we'd love to try it. I
Hmm.
do think there's something in the fact that it's about energy. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
When things feel good, people want to get involved and want to help you.
Yes.
So I just adored that whole. And I was also very because I come from a strategy background. I'm very right, we're stay in this stage, then we go to this stage. So
Hmm.
I was purposeful about how I was building it as well for the first 3 months before I'd even decided that I was going to do Clementine.
Hmm.
I actually came up with loads of ideas and I gave myself the grace of 3 months to say, don't land on it. Don't land on the idea just yet. Just think of
Mm.
problems to solve. And the more time you give yourself there, the deeper you'll kind of feel affinity to one of those. And that's what happened. If I hadn't done that and I just jumped to something, I actually had some other ideas that were completely different. And yeah, my life would look very different. Is that making sense?
Absolutely. I mean, when we think about building something, a lot of times there is this desire to lead with urgency,
Yeah,
to jump on the first thing that resonates and to build it out to solve it, to find the people. But there is so much value in getting so clear in your messaging, getting very clear in the problem that you're trying to solve. And then the people will gravitate when they recognize the clarity, when they recognize the energy behind the messaging. They're like, yes, I am in on this.
yeah, totally. So I didn't know that. I didn't at the time because it was very, even though I was structured in the way I was doing it, it was also the first time I'd done it. So I didn't really know if I was doing it the right way. But in fact, that didn't really matter. There is no right way. It was just the way that was right for me. And I've really had to learn that as I go on, like rebuilding another new app and just realizing then that I didn't need to worry about what anyone else did in the way that anyone else built it and shut out all the noise and just do it how we're going to do it is quite empowering.
How long did it take starting from the production or the creation of the app for it to finally launch on like the App
Yeah,
Store?
I remember this clearly. So it was the December where I said, I'm going to start a business. And then I gave myself 3 months to come up with the idea and land on the
Mm-hmm.
problem. And then once I'd done that, so that was like March, I took 6 months and then I put it live on the App Store in November. So that was nine, what's that, nine? No, 11
Mm-hmm.
months. Yeah, 11 months. And I did it all whilst I was working in my normal job. I did it off the side of my desk, although I did change some things. So I stopped working on a Friday because I
Okay.
knew that I couldn't get into a flow by just doing things at home in the evenings. And then also allowed myself the grace to put my son into the nursery for an extra day for the day
Mm-hmm.
because I was like, okay, I can't do this with him. He needs to be there, and I was like, right, we're investing in this.
Mm-hmm.
And I again, like I found working at home really hard because I was getting really distracted. So I would go to a cafe every Friday and work there all day and just make as much progress. And then was so interesting is that I guess because it became my hobby, my number one hobby. So rather than coming home from work, which I would normally do, and I'd faff around, pottering around the house, doing this, cleaning that, ba 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 ba, watching some telly, I stopped all of that. And because all I wanted to do was work on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like spending my evenings like building stuff and doing stuff. And that's probably how I managed to do that while still working and in 11 months. And it wasn't perfect. I guess that's the other thing to say is that someone gave me some feedback halfway through that said, was it progress, not perfection? And that really landed with me because I am a strong perfectionist and it could have run the risk really of that not
Mm-hmm.
being live for another year. Really
Thank you.
genuine.
Thank you so much for sharing that because there's a lot of energy sometimes, or a lot of times people feel like they have to abandon where they were before, abandon the job, abandon like previous hobbies or tasks, and to build something, allowing yourself the space, to just do it in increments. You don't need
Yeah.
to abandon your salary. You don't, if anything, that having that cushion allows that
Yes.
sustainability.
100%. Because I know, look, I get asked that question a lot about like, should you just quit your job? When do you go all in? For me, that would have felt like pressure, right? And would have sucked all the joy out of actually building it and having fun with it
Mm-hmm.
early on, and then feeling like it's, like a properly like a baby. It's almost like a bit like
Mm-hmm.
on maternity leave where you get the time and it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't have the luxury to do that as a family. I needed to earn my salary. It was in 2019, so 2 years later. So I did both for
Okay.
2 years side by side when it did all kind of I hit burnout, major
Mm-hmm.
burnout, because what happened was I got so into it. And I'm not the sort of person who can just quit, like quiet quit their job. Do you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I still needed to turn up to work and do the best job at work.
Mm-hmm.
And the two of those, plus having another baby in the mix, just was too much.
Yes.
And at that point, that's when we asked her. I say we, it was me and my husband were like, what are we going to do here?
Mm-hmm.
Shall I quit my job now and go all in? Or should I keep going? And I think we both said, we've already spent all our life savings on this. It is the thing that has brought you the most joy. Like we've just got to go all in. And that's when we
Mm-hmm.
did that. So that was 2 years.
That, I mean, I feel like my audience can resonate so much with that story, and even imagine that it's a reminder that it takes time.
Oh my
I
God.
think in a time right now where virality and instant success is something that so many people are craving because they feel like it will take them to the next level or get them that sponsorship or whatever the case may be, that freedom, that autonomy,
Yeah.
that getting to that place where you have that freedom and autonomy takes time. And even when you get to that place that you imagine,
Yeah.
It's a different investment. It is a different
Yeah, yeah,
time
yeah.
commitment.
Yeah, totally. 100%. Like you can't hack, I don't think you can hack this. And there are very few companies. There's a couple of unicorns every now and then who just
Mhm.
get everything right at the right time and they fly. But in general, that doesn't happen for most people. So that's why it's so important to do the first part, which is to make sure that you're solving a problem that you care about.
Mhm.
Because really, I've been doing this for a lot, since 2017. So I'm not bored of it, even though it's really hard.
Mhm.
It's because the problem is something that I care so much about.
One thing that I noticed about the app and like your website is the transparency of the practitioners that you use on the app, what the app offers, the problem that it solves. Why was that so important to you?
That's a very interesting question. I guess I'd never really thought about it, to be honest. I guess it's part of my DNA,
Mm,
and me and Clementine are not the same entity, but we share a lot of the same values.
mhm,
And, life, I just feel like, we're walking around life and a lot of the time you're having to second guess and the cognitive load is just massive, right?
mhm,
And so why can't everybody just be more honest and clear about what
mm,
it is they do? And, then you can decide, is that for me? Yes or no? It's not going to be for everyone. It doesn't
mm,
matter. Just say what it does on the tin. And yeah, I guess I value simplicity a
mhm,
lot. And that probably comes down to having a mental health breakdown and
mhm,
just in general stripping life back to its bare minimum.
mhm,
And so if when we're creating products and everything, like the words, the illustrations, the user experience,
mhm,
it's just got to be so freaking simple because the world that we're living in around us is not.
mm.
And then people will use it.
Yeah,
I guess
it
it's just that simple.
I mean, what a relief too, when you think
Yeah.
about building an app that supports people, the mental load that you take away from folks when everything is laid out for you, even the people that you are going to be potentially working with through the app. I think that's what
Yeah.
I was most impressed with because a lot of times people will leave that kind of information on the back end, or you have to get into the app and go through all of these steps to figure out what it actually is.
No, that really drives me up the wall. Like stuff like that. I guess in some ways, some people would say that I'm not commercial enough. Like, for example, you come into our app and we don't even take your payment details. We're not one of those apps that you immediately have to sign in and then
Hmm.
you're in a week trial, but you've got to sign out of the trial and then you forget because life's busy and then you're annoyed at the brand anyway because you're like, I actually didn't really want to sign up. Like,
Hmm.
that's just noise for me. It's like, if you like it, come and try it. Try everything. We'll make it as simple as we can. We're not going to get you to even keep coming. Like, we're not going to force you to
Hmm.
use this app, like, and designed in a way that you have to use it every day, because that's not real life. And I just think if you use it and it works for you, you'll come back when you need it.
Hmm.
And needing it will be when what works for you.
Mm.
Not because of I'm an app developer and I need the metrics to say that you use it every day.
Truly built with the person in mind.
Yeah, yeah, and values.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to build a brand, not an app. I guess that's part of it as well, so that it can transcend
Hmm.
and do other things rather than just be an app.
And brand development, brand building has really evolved in the last couple of years. Like it used to be like when we think about Apple, like the logo, the efficiency it can offer.
Yeah,
But we are truly leading into a world where building a brand is values aligned. It is who are we working with? Who are we investing our time, energy, and money on? What am I to expect from this brand, this entity when I work with them?
yeah. Do they have my best interests at heart?
Mm,
Do they care about me?
mm.
Yeah, that's a really, those are the two metrics, aren't they?
I saw some of there's some new things coming soon.
Yeah, we've
Some
got.
of the app is under development. Is there anything that you can share right now?
So basically, we had, again, full transparency. So last year, we had a really hard year. And this probably matches the macro environment for people in general. You know, it's tough. People are
Mhm.
struggling. And we saw our subscriptions revenue, we could see it, you know, on a weekly basis going down. And we're like, what's going on? But we knew that the sessions were still working. We've got over
Mhm.
40,000 reviews, like that, like those were not the problem. So we were like, oh God, what are we going to do? We need to
Mhm.
rethink this because we're about impact. We're supported through an impact investor. They care about,
Okay.
that's what they care about. So if you're seeing that go down, you're like, well, then people aren't using it. And
Mhm.
so we had to really rethink and we thought, okay, what are we hearing from our customers? We're hearing they want more. They're like, there's so many problems for you to solve. We're like, we know. But we didn't have enough money to solve them because it costs a lot of
Mhm.
money to get really good therapy. Then we were like, they were saying, but we don't want to pay for a subscription anymore. We just want to buy the stuff we really resonate with and use that. So I was like, cool, I get you. And then from the therapist point of view, we were hearing from them that they really struggle. You know, they have their one-to-one businesses, but then often, you know, they want to be able to create other ways to make money, but they struggle to build that stuff and the marketing that goes around it. So I was like, okay, well, maybe that's a problem we could probably help solve for them. So we came up with this new concept, which is a digital library. It's a marketplace, basically. So we've gone from the hypnotherapy app, mainly hypnotherapy, to much broader with more techniques. So manifesting, ASMR, breath work, journaling, face yoga, all supporting your overall well-being plus solving more problems. So rather than just being sleep and anxiety and stress, sometimes, well, we've evolved as well. We're not, these problems are not just emotional problems. The body and the mind are linked, right? And so when you're feeling stress, sometimes that comes out in your skin or constipation or bloating or whatever. And so we were like, okay, we need to expand the problems that we solve. So we've soft launched this. So you know, we haven't promoted this widely we've got 400 people on it at the moment, and we're just testing because it's a whole new model for us. We had a
Mhm.
tiny team, by the way. There's three of us. So we do everything. So we've had to get all this new content, work out the pricing, you know, build the new app, build a new website, da 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 da. But I know in my heart that this is going to be way more impactful because we can solve more problems. We can support the therapist because we share the revenue with them. So they want to put more into it. So we
Mhm.
help them, we help the customers because we're solving more problems in more ways. And what's super cool is that it's basically a stripped back app that has a blank library. You know, imagine your bookshelf with no books on it.
Mhm.
And then we give you the library and you go, okay, I really like this because right now I'm going through a really tough time at work. I'm going to buy that. No subscription, you just buy it, put it in your library. And then you're basically building your own toolkit rather than us saying, this is what you should use. It's just way more empowering and
Mhm.
travels with you more because you change more and you're in control. It's giving me a lot of energy because I know it's going to work because everyone in the model, it's a win for everybody.
Mhm.
Whereas before, the model wasn't working enough anymore. So we had to flip it.
I'm sold. I mean, I'm just, I cannot wait to see all these things come out. I mean, you're talking about the mind, body, spirit connectedness, like not just addressing what's
Yeah.
going on up here, but how can you move forward and offering that support for where they are right now and where they're going to be. And that is not always something that we think about. Sometimes we only have that tunnel vision of where we are, but
Yeah.
you're really having the whole person in
Yeah.
mind
Yeah.
and staying true to values and making it appealing for your therapist to stay on for the people that you employ.
Exactly, exactly. That was a really big part of why I wanted to build this because it really frustrates me. And I feel bad for them that they create things that are so transformative. They change people's lives, yet they sell it on YouTube or don't even, they just give it away. It's like the commoditization of therapy. It sucks, to be honest, or they're on Insight Timer or on Spotify and they're getting pennies per play. I'm like, there's got to be a better way for them to get paid properly. It's not fair. So with this model, take a chunk of the revenue. So every sale they get, a massive royalty payment, which is great. And then everybody wins. It's like energy. It's like, yeah, it's just
Yeah,
good.
I mean, when everyone wins, that's how something continues to be great and stays
Yeah.
great, and everyone continues to stay invested in something. When everyone can benefit from it, when everyone can see the value, it is much easier to have people stay on when they
Yes.
understand what they are building.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, it's exciting. It's hard. It's really, like I've done I was just talking to someone else earlier. I was saying I've done all the stuff that I love, which is the creating of the
Mhm.
app, and now I'm really in the dirty stuff like the SEO and you know, which could for me is like quite. I find that hard just because of the way my brain works, but it's all good stuff.
I was gonna ask what has been the most challenging aspects of it.
It's this part now, and because I'm so good at the building phase. I guess that's because it's what motivates me so much. It's bringing a vision to life. But once you've got it to that point and it's live, you have to do so much listening and looking at data and adjusting constant across so many different things.
Hmm.
And that I sometimes find that can suck my energy because it's hard. It can be quite, I find that boring. Some people would find that they love that. They go mad for it. The tweaking of this, the email, the copy's not quite right. Da, 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 da. For me, I find that really hard, but it's important and I've got to stick in it, stay
Hmm.
in it. I'm like literally a mantra to myself, stay in it, Kim.
Do you have a ritual for yourself or a system that you've built when you are getting into the nitty-gritty that allows you to find some enjoyment out of it?
Yeah, do you know what? I change things up all the time. I'm super aware of like when I'm having a down week or,
Mm-hmm.
need to switch things up. At the moment, I'm having to go and work outside of my home office because it is hard
Mm-hmm.
and I literally won't sit here and do the work. It's too easy for me to get distracted. So I'll
Mm-hmm.
go down the road and I'll know, and it's really light as well. The light is important for me. And I will just sit there for 5 hours and I will get way more done than I could here. That's really important. But I'm very routine focused. So, like, I always go to the gym and I'm always outside
Mm-hmm.
walking. That's really important to getting the work done and talking to people. Like, even though I work from home, I do structure my week so that I'm constantly meeting people, not for work, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it kind of has to be not for work.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. Just
Mm-hmm.
because when you're in that heavy work, the last thing I want to be doing is talking to other people about work. So I make an effort to go to my son's football matches. I take the time out of my diet. These are important for work whilst I'm doing the heavy lifting.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I'll just lose it.
It's amazing what happens when we change up our scenery. Like yesterday, I worked from bed yesterday and I got more done than I would have sitting at this desk right now.
Did you? That's so interesting.
And so I was like, you know what? I need to get a more of like the admin things done. And at
Yeah.
my desk, I can fidget with things, I can organize it, I can make it look really pretty. I was like, okay, let me go just lay in bed for a couple hours. And I got so much done.
Oh
But
my
sometimes
God.
we just need that change of environment. We just
Yes.
need, our brains need to be able to focus on a specific item, and the monotony of working from home, from working in
Yes.
the same place can really
Yeah.
impact like productivity.
Oh, definitely. Even like what you're wearing and how you get dressed. Like today, I made an effort because I knew I was going to be talking to you to actually because I was like, right, I need to be in a really, I don't know, just a different mindset, a bit more
Mm-hmm.
up mindset. So I was like, right, today I'm going to actually have a shower. I'm going to get dressed properly because when I'm doing the heavy lifting work, I do the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a bit like you being in bed. I just literally put on my track pants and, everything's crazy. So I think about that too. It's like, okay, what's
Mm-hmm.
my mood and what do I need to wear even to
Mm-hmm.
feel like I can do that?
It's so interesting what gets us in the headspace. I think I spend a lot of time getting dressed every week, every day, that sweatpants allowed me to like be comfortable and do the work. And it's truly part of that tweaking. It's just knowing what you need on any given day
Yeah.
and allowing yourself the space to lean into that, whether it's, okay, I need to stay home and really get some work done, or I need to go out to a cafe,
Yeah.
meet up with some friends to co-work, not think about work at all, but just giving
Yes.
yourself that grace to tweak as needed and give yourself what you need.
Yeah, definitely. The old days of, working 9 to 5 and having set like that for me, that's like meltdown mode. I can't, I can't do that. I can't. It's too rigid.
And it's so ingrained in us
Yeah.
too to unlearn that 9 to 5.
Yes.
Okay, I'm here 9 to 5. It's like, okay, I'm gonna go eat breakfast and I'll
Yeah.
come to this at 11 and then maybe eat my
Yes.
lunch at 2 and then
Yes.
come back to it, giving ourselves that flexibility and unlearning all the
Yes.
things that we learned in corporate
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and
yeah.
doing
So
something
true.
different.
I love that word, unlearning. It's a really good word.
Well, Kim, I really appreciate you taking the time out to talk to me today. What is a piece of advice you would give to someone who recognizes that they have a problem they want to solve, but are afraid of taking that step?
Mm, that's a good question. Do you mean as in for their own mental health, or do you mean from a business, they've got a problem they want to solve for it to start a business? You meant the
Both.
other. Oh, okay. Right. Well, the easier one to answer is around starting a business is to almost forget about starting a business and take all the pressure out of it
Hmm.
and just go back to start at the very beginning, which is, but what is the problem that I want to fall in love with? Right.
Yeah.
And then go deep on it. And
Hmm.
that doesn't that and because it's just like a step. It's like, but what is the problem I want to get? Don't think about starting a business. It's so stressful. Like who would do that? It's crazy. It's like crazy. Just think about the problem, go deep on it, and get obsessed about the problem. So that's my first one. And then the second one about, I mean, it's so hard. I never give people advice. I try not to do that, right? Because everybody's got different ways of doing things and I don't have the top 10 tips of this and blah, blah. Like, but if you're feeling really stuck, what I guess I have a question, it's more like a question.
Hmm.
It's like if you've been feeling stuck for a long time and whatever it is, what, like, how do I describe this? You've got nothing to lose by it's not even getting help. Just have a conversation. Like again, take the pressure out of it. Have a chat with someone who you think might be able to help you. That might be a therapist. That might not be. It might be a friend who's gone through something and it might lead somewhere. Do you know what I mean? It's to have a conversation with someone else, get out of your own head and just talk about what's going on. And that is it. You can't you can't go project plan this stuff, right? But when you're feeling stuck, the worst thing to do is just to stay in yourself. It's just got to come out somehow.
Yeah.
And I think finding someone you could talk to, and someone could be anybody that you feel safe with. That's it.
Kim, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. That was very therapeutic.